Hi, I'm Charbria Shine, and welcome back to Max Out Girl. Hi guys, welcome back. Today we have a very special episode and a very special guest, Briana Arthur.
Hi,
hey girl, hey. So she is playing Jessica in Charbria Shine's Single Woman Chronicles. So, all right, so let's talk about Jessica a little bit.
Okay.
Who is Jessica? What's her personality like?
So Jessica, she's the good girl. She's like the sincere one out the bunch.
The sweet one.
She's got the little innocence going on. She's sort of like oblivious to what's going on. So she's just really happy-go-lucky, just happy to be a part of the crew, basically.
Aw, yeah. Yeah, she's real sweet, y'all. She's a nice girl. Can't y'all see why she playing her? So let's talk about it. She has a friend who she's very close with in this show, Brooklyn.
Yes.
How would you describe Brooklyn, your bestie?
So Brooklyn and I are like polar opposites. So Brooklyn, she has all the attitude. She's ready to spawn. She's got to clap back right away.
For everything.
While Jessica's like a little church mouse hiding in the corner.
Yes.
Their relationship is very interesting. It's like those polar opposites going on.
Yeah. Is there anything that's challenging about playing this role?
Just, I guess, thinking about my relationship with the other characters, you know, with Brooklyn, we're total opposites, and then like me being curious about our background or just my background compared to the other characters, like how that all fits in,
like how they became friends.
Yeah,
that is pretty interesting because we were talking before the podcast, and she was saying how you were interested in how are they really friends because they're so different. Do you feel like people can have that relationship in real life, like one person being super nice, super sweet, and the other person pretty much being a mean girl?
Yeah, definitely, because I've had friends like that in the past where we're just different personalities, but I think that's why we mesh, because it's like if you just have the same flavor with each person, then it's like it's nothing spicy about it. You know, it's just plain. I think we have to have friends that complement and contrast each other.
So kind of like opposites attract.
Yeah.
But in friendship sometimes too. Yeah, that does work. Sometimes it doesn't, but it just depends what the opposites, right? What those changes or differences are. Yeah, so I know that you are a performer. They may not know yet, but you are a performer, and your background is in dance.
Yes.
But you're acting in this show. We dance a little bit. You dance in the show too, but it's mostly acting for you. Is this your first show that you've acted in?
So the first time I acted was with Dr. Love, with you, of course.
Dr. Love to the rescue. Oh, yeah.
So that was very exciting.
She did
I was
great.
Actually really honored to be a part of that. I was like, okay, this is a lot of acting, a lot of speaking roles. So I've done theater before, dance, musicals, and things like that, but never really lines.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. That was exciting.
You did a really great job. She did a really great. If y'all didn't see her in that, y'all got to see it. She did a really great. You play dual roles again. So you were one of the Hearts, which is one of the adorable girls, and who dances all the dance moves. But then she actually played Letty, a character, and you did amazing in that.
Thank you.
That was her first role, y'all. Woo!
That was fun.
So was that challenging? Because you've been in the dance world all of your life. She's from Emerson Visual Performing Arts School, my alma mater.
The original.
Raise the roof, right.
Right.
The original Emerson. The phase one, the first visual performer arts. And you were a dance major. Me too. Shout out to the dance majors. So was that kind of nerve-wracking, or were you nervous? Because again, dancing, it is different. When you're in your comfort zone, like originally before I started acting, I was so comfortable dancing. And then when I switched over, it was like, oh, okay, it's a little different. How was that experience? What would you say?
I feel like I wasn't really that nervous.
Good, okay.
Like once I started reading the script, I feel like I have a pretty good memory. Like I'm a visual learner, but I'm also like, if I read something, I can memorize it pretty well.
That's good, yeah.
So I think that helped a lot, because I was like, okay, I know what I'm supposed to do. But I will say the challenge is, and sometimes even when we're rehearsals now, is like anticipating the other actors' lines, because I'm waiting for the cue from their lines, and if I don't hear it, I'm like, uh-oh, like, what happened? So being like more aware of what everyone else's lines, so it can be more natural, and I'm not just waiting
on
for
a word
that
or the cue. That's really good, and I think that's so important. When I first started, that's kind of how I was like, oh, I know that line's going to go there. So right after they say that word, I'm going to go in.
Yeah.
But what if they don't say that word? Or they change it up a little bit, or they're trying to improv a little bit. So I had to realize, okay, in this scene, to know the overall purpose of this scene, what's happening beyond like those words and cues, and that helps me, because you're right. If it depends on the director and what actors you have, but some veer away from the script
and start.
And I'm like, what are you doing? You know? So that's good. That's a good point. That could be a challenge. But you've been doing awesome.
Thank you.
So what has been one of your challenges in Single Woman Chronicles? Has it been the same thing?
Yeah, because with Single Woman Chronicles, it's more of us in the scene, and with Dr. Love, it was just the two of us with that longer scene. So interacting more with all the ladies, and again, like bouncing off each other's energy and not just being like doop, doop, doop. So
like robots. There's a lot going on in that scene. She's talking about the party scene in the show, and it's a fun scene, lots going on, lots of entertainment in that scene, and we're all bouncing off of each other, and there's different personalities and attitudes and things going on, and it's a really fun thing. So let's go a little bit more into your background. So I know you went to Emerson, and then you went to
Juilliard. So I was at Emerson 6th through 12th grade.
Okay.
And then once I graduated in 2009, and then I went to Juilliard. I was there for 4 years, so I graduated in 2013. So I had my BFA in dance from there. And
awesome. Did you?
I've been dancing professionally ever since. So.
Amazing. Coming from Gary, Indiana. Woo, raise the roof, GI. Okay, so and Emerson, you're not gonna represent. So how was that experience?
It was interesting.
Really?
So even before I went, I always made the joke that I knew right away that I wanted to go to Juilliard. I'm sure you're familiar with Save the Last Dance.
Of course, everyone is. Yes. So you knew from that movie.
So she's like, yeah, I'm going to Juilliard. And at the time being, I didn't even know, like, if it was a real school, if it was a real thing. And I ended up finding out, like, yes,
it's
that's
real.
A real thing. Yeah. Like, you can do that. So I had, like, really high hopes, really high expectations. I did their summer program and everything. And then when I got there, it was very interesting. So
when you got to the school?
Yes.
Okay,
so
why?
The environment, it was only 3 people of color. So it was me and 2 other classmates. And we had an older director over the dance division. And there was a lot of favoritism, a lot of racism that was going on.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, so that was like a
shock.
Yeah.
To me too.
I have all this excitement
that.
about it, and then you end up, it's like, oh, okay, well, this is different. Yeah. And it was mostly just from the director, which is hard because he's
over everything,
over the program. But with the teachers and my classmates and everything, that was a really good experience. But it was definitely like, okay, like I have to learn how to adjust to this.
So then you would say it wasn't an amazing experience because of that?
Yeah. So not initially. Like I made it my own. Like I made it what I wanted it to be.
That's good.
But at first it was like, oh, okay.
Like a shock.
Yeah.
Especially coming from Emerson because it's mostly people of color, you know, and so it's very different. Yeah. Wow, I never knew that. Okay. So from there, did it spark you to want to continue to dance? I said you kept dancing. Okay, good. So it did spark.
It was a big push. But I will say, like, in my final year, that was probably the most difficult because, you know, we have, like, one-on-one, not meetings, but sort of just, like, talk-throughs about, you know, what our plans are, what we think we should do moving forward. And my experience in that was I was asked, so, you know, do you know what Black companies you're auditioning for?
Oh, that was your question. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
So I had no idea.
Blank, right. So it was, it was that. And so, and it messed with me for a little bit. It's like, you know, you tried to put me in this box.
Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. But no, you can't put us in a box.
Yeah.
No.
But I will say on a brighter note.
Yes.
So,
right.
So currently the director of the dance division is Alicia Graf Mack. So she was in the Ailey company for years.
Oh, nice.
And the diversity has flourished and grown.
That's great.
I'm inspired by that.
That's
amazing.
You know,
future dancers didn't have to
deal with
didn't
that.
Have to experience what I did.
Wow, that's crazy. So that means if I would have went there when I graduated, it would have been even worse because I graduated in 2003. So that means there was nobody there of color.
Probably there.
Nobody would be there. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Okay. But it didn't stop you because you went on to dance professionally. You're still dancing professionally, and now you're acting, so you're the full package. So and you sing a little bit too. So we're gonna get that we're gonna get that voice out there too, y'all. Coming soon. Coming soon. almost this show, but we didn't quite do it, but it's coming soon. Yes. So let's talk back to a little on Single Woman Chronicles. So in that show, we talk a little bit, about the pressures in society on women, and particularly single women, to hurry up and settle down, hurry up and get a man, have kids by this time, have it all figured out. Do you feel like those pressures are still on a woman in today's society?
I think they definitely do exist. I think it depends also your friend group, what you were saying,
Absolutely.
Who you surround yourself with, where they're at in life, how they're talking to you, whether or not, you're feeling pressure from them.
Yeah.
But I definitely think those pressures do exist. So that's why we need women around us to encourage us, like, you don't need to be held captive to that pressure or to these different ideas, that it has to be done this way. And especially just being led by God's timing, not your own timing.
No, I love that, because part of the story is my story, because I was feeling so much pressure, and it does depend who you're around, and then growing up as a Christian girl and being a Christian woman, it was just that, like, you need a husband, like, where's your man, like, where's your husband, you're getting older,
this is how it's supposed to happen.
And though I wasn't against marriage, I was for that, it just wasn't happening, you know what I mean? And so I was feeling that pressure, but I then shifted my perspective, because I knew so many people that their identity was in their relationship status. I'm like, well, first of all, our identity should be in God first. It's okay to, desire marriage and family and all that's so beautiful. But I had to realize that it came from God, and it was, and so once I started to do that and get wholeness in my singleness, I started loving being single and, like, my life and just doing the things I wanted to do in life and figuring myself out. But I saw that so many other women were struggling, and it didn't matter whether they were CEOs doing well or not doing well, like, just different walks of life. Just feeling that pressure. And even after I got married, the pressure didn't stop. It was like, are you having kids right away? How many kids are you having? I'm like, can everybody relax? Like, can you guys let it be God's timing and not, like, make me feel bad? And so I know that in society there's so many stereotypes on women and who you should be. Even as a wife now, it's just like, you should be this kind of wife. Or then it's like, we're all individuals, and God made us beautifully unique, and we all have our different paths and stories. So you're married and you have children. How has that journey been? Yes.
Oh man, I always say, like, I was reborn in a sense after I had my daughter. She just turned 8.
Wow.
That's right.
She's adorable.
So that seems crazy. Like, that time has gone by so fast. And I always said, like, it made me a better artist, because it made me be more in tune with myself.
Really?
And
okay.
just to feel more empowered. Like, wow.
Because you were able to have a daughter?
Because I had
You're a mother.
A daughter. Like, my perspective shifted on how much responsibility I have, and how much children are a gift from God, and how He really equips us just in that sense as a mother, but just in life. Like, He's given us a purpose that's bigger than ourselves, and I think that's what it was. Like, it opened my eyes to, it's not just me, it's not just the pressure that I'm feeling or wanting to be in this show or that company. Like, it's bigger than that. And so I think it gave me a freedom in my artistry where I was like, I feel like I overcame what people consider, like, the biggest obstacle, like, giving birth, like, it's so scary.
Or they try to tell you have to stop doing what you can't be an artist if you're pregnant. And we're like,
right.
We know too many women.
A better artist.
I was about to say, we know too many successful women with kids. So you can't tell us that. But that's awesome. I love that. So it empowered you. It didn't make you feel like you had to stop. It made you feel like you could do more and be more. I love that, because I've heard that a lot. Like, even with me, like, you better not, better make sure you're ready, because you're not going to be able to do all the stuff you're doing. And I'm like, I know life changes. I do understand that. But I see so many empowered women that are walking and living in purpose and still have a family. So I know it's possible, for sure. So what would you tell ladies who want to come see Single Woman Chronicles? What do you feel like they can get out of this show?
Okay. Well,
tough question. Tough question, ladies.
It's a lot. It's loaded. Like, you'll laugh. You might cry. Like,
we've had that.
It will give you the opportunity to, like, really ponder things, and especially, like, where you're at in your life, where you're at in your singleness or your marriage or your friendships. It pretty much covers it all, which is impressive.
Thank you
on your part. But it'll spark a lot of emotions, and I think that's a good thing. It's well-rounded. It's not just one thing. You'll really get to reflect on a lot of things throughout the play, and just being empowered again about whatever season that you're in.
That's it,
and how you can inspire others no matter what season they're in.
Yes.
Thinking about that.
I love that. That's awesome, because I think sometimes, because it's called Single Woman Chronicles, people are like, oh, it's just for singles. I'm like, no, but you don't understand. It's something for everyone, because I tried to deal with, like you said, friendships in there. I tried to deal with where we are in our lives. Like you just said, I'm not even gonna say all what you just said. You pretty much summed it up, because whether you're married or single or it's complicated, it's something in there for everyone. And that's was my intentions, to be able to empower women no matter what stage or age. And a lot of people have brought their husbands, or have brought their boyfriends, or girls' night too, obviously, but they bring their guys and they have fun watching it.
It's not just for the ladies.
Which I was shocked the first year that I did it in 2021, that so many guys enjoyed it, and they're like, "Oh, that was funny," because the guys are funny in it too. So, so yes, ladies, bring the guys out. It's not just for singles, and it's not just for ladies. So yes, we are repping our shirts. I gotta show mine. She's got hers on. Whoop whoop! I got my Single Woman Chronicles. Yes. So come out and see Briana as Jessica in Single Woman Chronicles on March 29th. Go to swcthestageplay.com. And for watching this, you get $10 off. Use code SWC10 at checkout for $10 off. So, guys, we hope we said something that encouraged, inspired, and elevated your thinking. I'm Charbria Shine. Talk to you next time. Bye, guys.